It's crazy how easy it is to scrape any website on the internet today using AI. In this video, I will show you how you can use Grok, CRAWL4AI, Light LLM, and DeepSeek in order to scrape any public-facing website. And the best part about it is that you don't need to write any code. The code has already been written for you, so you don't have to do anything. This is going to be in a Streamlit application where you only need to give the URL and the data points that you want to scrape, and Scraper will go ahead and scrape the data for you. No need for more efforts from your side. So we're going to start by a little demonstration just to show you how it works and show you the different tools and how I have placed them inside of my projects. And then I will share my own experience in order for you to understand how you can adapt this for your own website if you need to do so, even though that most likely you're not going to need to do it. With that being said, please jump to my screen. All right, so if you have ever watched my videos before, you would know that this is a project that I've actually launched before. So the first thing that you are going to see is that I have added DeepSeek and I have basically changed all of the backend. Nothing is similar to what it was before. This is why this is actually a very important video, because you're going to see everything that I have added. If you're new here, we are going to start from the beginning. Let's go ahead and take an example. We are in Walmart and here we have the savings page. We want to basically scrape data out of here. Let's go ahead and go back here. Let's add the URL. Once you add your one URL or URLs, you just put it in here and then click on add URLs. And now we're going to enable the scraping. And here we are going to put the fields we want to scrape. It starts by name of the product, the price of the product, how much we're saving, and the number of reviews. So let's go ahead and do that. Product name, price, saving, reviewers. Let's go back here and let's keep things simple. We're not going to touch the pagination now. Let's launch it. We are going to be using GPT-4o Mini because it is cheaper. And Walmart is a huge website. Its context is huge. There's a lot of products in here. So if we go back to the backend, we are going to see that CRAWL4AI have already started the process of getting the markdown, because that is the first thing that happens, which is getting the markdowns. And after that, we are going to make our call in order to get the response, which is basically this table that we have here. We already have the response. So one of the big differences between this new version is that it is so much faster because it's using CRAWL4AI. And it is absolutely amazing when you are scraping, especially smaller context websites. It is just so much faster. Here we are going to see that this is a big website. It's 41,000 tokens, but it still have been able to scrape it, and we are not even at 1 cent. So we are basically good, and everything happened seamlessly. Let's go ahead and use DeepSeek this time, and let's go with a smaller website. Whenever I am testing my scrapers, I like to come to this website just because it does not have so much text, and it gives me a good idea if the model can actually parse through the markdowns or not. So let's go back here. Let's choose DeepSeek. Let's put our model in here. Let's clear the URL that we have here and add the new one URL. Enable the scraping again. And let's put what we want to scrape is the name and the price. And that's it. Let's click on launch. And you are going to see that it is going to be so much faster. It is going to be CRAWL4AI. When you scrape multiple websites, it basically kind of remembers it and it just gets you the markdown so much faster. And because we are using Grok, also the inference is so much faster. So we get our table so much faster than what we had before. So here you are going to see that this is not very expensive as well. DeepSeek is a very friendly model, but I am going to be honest with you guys, it's not my preferred model when it comes to scraping. DeepSeek has been such a huge moment for LLMs and for the AI world in general, not because we are going to use DeepSeek R1 for everything, but because how much it has influenced the other companies to do things differently and to prioritize really good reasoning models for cheaper price points. This is why we have deep search. This is why we have O3 Mini this fast. And for this specific use case that is scraping, I think it is going to be absolutely amazing to see the next months and the new models that we are going to be using. I mean, O3 Mini already is really good, but I still have my preference towards Gemini Flash just because you can have a number of requests for free. So I still use it as my preferred way of scraping. I did not switch to 2.0 yet, just because the structured output is not as good as the 1.5. It needs to go out from the experimental into an alpha, and then I will switch to it. I think it's going to be the best free model that we are going to be able to use to scrape data. Okay, so when it comes to the code that we have behind the scenes, it's kind of a big project, so we're not going to go through the whole thing, but I just want you to understand the process and how it works from the start in order for you to be able to modify it if you want. So the first thing that we want to do is to basically go to the URL. So we will have a URL in here. And then from this URL, we want to get markdowns. And markdowns are simply, when you go to your URL, you can view source page, you will remove everything that is not data, every tag, every parameter inside of that tag, etc., etc. You just want to keep the raw data that is semi-readable by a human being, but is absolutely fine to give to an LLM in order for you to be able to get the data. For this website, we are going to go from something like this to something that looks like this. As you can see, we have so much data in here that is important to us. For example, here we have the name and here we have the price. So this is going to be a bit challenging to read for human beings, but if you give this to an LLM, it is absolutely fine. It's going to get you the data with no issues. So that is basically the first part. And once we get those markdowns, we are going to give it to an LLM. And then this LLM will be able to do both the scraping and will be able to do the pagination as well. So here we have the scraping and then here we have the pagination. So as far as the markdowns, this is where we have CRAWL4AI, which is very important. And CRAWL4AI basically manages everything. Before I was getting my own markdowns, but I had to deal with Selenium. I had to deal with optimizing the process so that if I am scraping multiple websites, I will not be opening and closing Chrome. So I want the same session to stay open in order for me to basically make it faster. Well, a lot of things I had to deal with myself. CRAWL4AI basically just abstracts everything and does everything for me. And it's also one of the legendary repos out there. I mean, it has been #1 coding overall, not just Python, for so long. So CRAWL4AI is very good for that. After that, we are going to use the LLM, and this is where I want to have this freedom to be able to use any LLM. And what I have done actually is that I have defined everything to be inside of the asset. So I just need to come to the assets, add the LLM in here, and then it's going to be added directly to the Streamlit application. So I don't need to do anything. And from there, I can basically do the scraping and pagination. All right, so now let's actually go ahead and dive into our code. And here, the code have changed so much. I have so many new files I have added. And the most important of them, of course, is the Streamlit app. This is our whole application. It's the longest file by long. It is just basically the whole application, and so much of it is front end. So don't worry about that. The second thing that we need to see is the LLM calls. So I have been able to add light LLM. Instead of having a condition for every new model that's going to be added, I don't need to do that anymore. Light LLM basically just does this for me. I just make sure that the models are in here and then they tell me exactly if it supports the function calling or not, which is very important because I want structured output. So all of this is managed by DeepSeek. I just copy this provider name, I put it inside of the asset and it's going to be added automatically. So I don't need to do anything. And then when it comes to CRAWL4AI, which is inside of the Markdown, I just basically use the most basic way of getting the markdowns, simply because I actually tried fit markdowns, and in the names, you're going to find fit markdowns, even though that they are not, but it's kind of deleted the data that I needed. So CRAWL4AI is a great way. It works greatly for me to just get the markdowns and let me basically do whatever I want with them. So here I am getting the markdowns, and then I'm going to read that raw data. And one thing I have added this time is that I am saving everything to Supabase. So I have created a Supabase table and I have connected it to it. And all you need to do is that go to the application, add your Supabase URL and Supabase anon key, and it's going to basically connect to your Supabase and it's going to save the markdowns, scraping, and pagination. So no data is going to be lost and you don't need to save it on your own machine anymore. So here, as you can see, you will have the URL. You will have a unique name that is being generated for every scraping, and you will basically have the raw data, which is the markdown, and then you are going to have the scraping that happened, which is going to be a JSON. If you have the pagination data as well, the pagination data will be here and you will not have to worry about that. I know it's a big project. I think I need to make another video just to show you how you can actually deploy this either from GitHub or from Docker and create an application that you can use yourself or share with your company in order for you to be able to use it. So if you want to see this video, just let me know in the comments. And if you want to see other models that you want me to experiment with, just let me know as well. I did not show so much of the code, but I told you the most important parts, which are the light LLM that we have here, the Markdowns, where we are using CRAWL4AI in order to do that. And the Pagination and the scraper, both of them are using the LLM call. So everything is dynamic, and all you need to do to add new models is come to asset and then add the model in here just by name with the alias. And of course, you need to add the API key inside of the dot environment, because otherwise you will have to add it inside of the API key that we have here. So yeah, guys, I know this is a long project. There was something that was not so clear. Just let me know in the comments if there is something specific that you want me to talk about in this universal web scraper. Just let me know in the comments as well. For the next project, it's going to be not just structured data, it's going to be RAG on URLs, because I found myself creating my own projects, basically taking the URL, doing the embeddings, and then starting to talk to that URL through the markdowns that I can generate with CRAWL4AI. So this is something that I found so interesting, and maybe I will be sharing with you in the future. So definitely let me know your thoughts in the comments and what I should be covering next. And of course, like, subscribe, all the good things, and I will catch you guys next time. Peace.